Political correctness came to Fort Smith back in 1990 and left its mark on Southside High School. PC was responsible for banning the Confederate flag. Let's go back in time to 1963, when Southside High School first opened. Back in those days, there was no such thing as political correctness. The high school adopted the Civil War as a theme for its mascot. They flew a Confederate flag. Their first song was Dixie. The drill team was the Dixie Bells. They had Johnny Red, the mascot, the Rebels. In the front hallway near the principal's office stands a huge wooden statue of a rebel carved by a chainsaw. It's known to tens of thousands of students as Rebel Man. Prior to 1963, the only senior high school was Fort Smith High. After Southside opened, Fort Smith High changed its name to Northside, apparently to join in with the Civil War theme. That's when the so-called Battle of Rogers Avenue came about. Symbolically speaking, Rogers Avenue became the Mason-Dixon line, separating the North from the South, just like the Civil War days. From 1963 to 1990, that's 27 years, nobody complained about being offended by the Civil War theme. Students, their parents, faculty members, and alumni got into the Civil War theme. They waved Confederate flags, they sang Dixie at football games, and some even dressed like rebel soldiers. Not only white students, but people of all races. Now, in 1990, something happened in America. It was being called political correctness. And like the plague, it spread throughout the nation. Everything and anything that might offend someone was considered politically incorrect. And then, you guessed it, PC found its way into Fort Smith, Arkansas, and reared its head at Southside High School. A few people turned against the Confederate flag, claiming it was racist. And a handful of people spoke publicly against Southside's Civil War theme. There was a knee-jerk reaction, but before anyone can say Bob's your uncle, they banned the Confederate flag, in the interest of political correctness. Certain people caught a lot of flack from students and people in general. And you know what? It hit the fan in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The Fort Smith School did away with the fight song Dixie. Not only were students upset, but non-students who were Southerners. Dixie, being a Southern song, had no intention on carrying a negative connotation. If it wasn't enough to upset the apple cart, on October 27th, the Times-Record ran a front-page story about Southside High School's new mascot. The Rebel was being retired, and some people claimed put down or killed. The new mascot, now labeled MAVERICKS, would not take effect until 2016. So until then, the Rebels mascot would still be used, but only temporarily. On November 25th, another front-page story featured the new MAVERICKS logo. Everyone expected it to be an animal, but the Maverick turned out to be a person. Nobody could tell if it was a man or a woman because it was wearing a mask and a Western hat. Someone complained that the masked person was not politically correct because it related to an outlaw, and that might offend an outlaw. So the logo was sent back redesigned without a mark. Prior to the logo change, a local attorney named Joey McCutcheon had filed a lawsuit against the Fort Smith School Board, seeking information about proceedings in changing the mascot. His Freedom of Information suit was dismissed, but it wasn't over. Joey, just like the South, would rise again. On October 2015, a Fort Smith barber was inspired to write a song about the Rebel mascot situation and how it was banned because of political correctness.
Southside High School in 1963 adopted the Civil War as the mascot theme. It flew the Confederate flag and took the rebel's name. The school band played Dixie at the football game. In 1990, the school board caught flack because they did away with the rebel's flag. 25 years later, 2015, political correctness came on the scene. The high school board members, well, they all agree that the fight song Dixie, it was not PC. So they took action, and it did not take too long. They voted unanimously to trash the Dixie song. When they replaced Dixie with a Wabash cannonball, well, things started heating up in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Some people got upset, their necks turned red and hot when the school board members went after their mascot. 5 agreed the rebels was racist and redneck, but the other 2 did not agree. Oh, what the heck. A Fort Smith attorney filed a legal claim against the defendants who was to blame. Allegedly, according to Joey McCutcheon's claim, members did not vote to change the mascot name. They came up with a list that they could pick from. Some names were really good, the other names were dumb. On October 26th, by a vote of 5-2, well, they chose the Mavericks for me and you. And then on November 2, as the story goes, a special committee to pick a new logo. The Maverick wore an outlaw mask to hide his identity. A few people did complain that it was not PC. So off came the Mavericks mask to please the PC crowd. They got their way again, that made them feel real proud. But let me tell those people before I go, something really important everyone else knows. The name Mavericks and the rebels' name, rebels and Mavericks, they mean the same darn thing.